good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work.
Right, I've got a problem with my treadmill, but I will join you in a second. Welcome along to the Brighton Marathon Training session. I've neglected to put my treadmill in action, so I'm just turning it off and turning it back on again, and I'll catch everybody up. Victoria is here though. Hello Lee Walker, hello Lee Betts, hello Tiago, hello Jonathan, hello James Hodge and Sebastian. Anyone else who's joining us this evening for our medium long run, which will be 90 minutes. Let's just make sure Victoria's mic's on as well. Talk to me, Vic.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Yeah, you're on. Right, let's get moving. I've got to catch everyone up now. So Victoria has the red beacon today. I have the yellow beacon. I'm already 20 seconds behind everyone else, but I shall just speed up and catch everybody up a bit. No intentions of going very fast today. Nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Let's just get the time on our feet done. That's the important thing. Time on feet today. And then you can go out and do park run tomorrow, and then Sunday morning you can go out and do your proper long run, if that's what you want to do. Lee Betts is running with us today. Yoko is there, James is there, Lee Walker is there, Neil Messenger is there, Sebastian, Jackie Ramos, Lee Leggett, Heather is there as well, Tiago, Jonathan Perkin. So a good list of regulars and a whole load of more people as well, and I am currently right at the back of everybody. Tina Beard, good evening to you. I've got the doors closed and I've got the radiator on, but not that the radiator is making much difference in here. It's only a tiny radiator, so we will.
The radiators actually make a huge difference to the temperature.
Do you think?
And I'm already too hot.
Okay, so I'll be opening the doors in a second anyway.
Hello to Sarah Jacobson. She says, how is everyone feeling? Jonathan Perkin is cold. I still have a lurgy.
And I am somewhat recovered, I think. I'm 95% there. Just still a little bit of congestion to deal with. But other than that, I think I am on the mend. But it has only been 3 weeks, for goodness sake. So it's taken its time.
No, Sarah's still laid up poorly. Oh, Hayward is feeling good. Marvellous. At least somebody's healthy. And you, Tina, you've been keeping healthy all this time.
It depends. Right, Lee Walker says Victoria is coming through on my mic. Yeah, she shouldn't be. Does it sound all echoey? I think I've got... The settings are all correct on both mics, I think. Unless you can... Can you hear treadmill noise? If you can hear treadmill noise, then perhaps We haven't set it up correctly. Oh no, you're right, I haven't set it up correctly. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Bear with me 1 second, I'm going to try and fix it. Right. That should be better.
Now I can hear feedback.
Hang on. Everything's frozen.
Tina is nice and toasty by the fire. Carol Rushworth said, it sounded as though you were at the supermarket.
Right, so what's happened is I've gone to change the microphone settings, which has in turn frozen the screen so I can't do anything, and also made my microphone come out of the speakers so we can hear me talking in a slight delay. Now it's gone, and now I think we're all right now. Hang on. Is that better? Yes! Okay, we're all right now. The computer was just taking a little while to sort itself out. So we're sorted now. I am slowly trying to catch up with Victoria and Carol and Neil and Jackie and Heather and Jonathan and Sebastian, who were all about 40 seconds ahead. I'm sure they were only 20 seconds ahead a minute ago. Anyway, we'll see if we can catch them up in the next few minutes. It doesn't take a lot, does it, to kind of completely mess up the live stream? You know, just one setting and it can sound awful. And then you just change that setting and everything's lovely again.
Can detect a tone of sarcasm in Heather's comment here. How pleasant for Victoria to hear you twice.
No sarcasm there. What more could you want?
Heather, I am not going to respond to that one.
Hearing your husband twice should be lovely. It's like double the fun.
Thanks, Sarah, for popping in. Get well soon.
Have you got connections yet, Sarah? Sarah's still supposed to be at work, really. It's in the middle of the afternoon in Chicago. So they should really be hard at work over in the States. We do have Yoko running with us. I think Yoko's retired, though, so she's allowed to run. Oh, okay, Sarah has done connections. Byron Lane, thank you very much for subscribing to the Zwift Run channel. If you are not subscribed, by the way, do please do me the honour. Click that bell notification icon as well. You know what to do.
Neil Messenger had the flu jab yesterday. I hope you're feeling okay, Neil. I usually have that every year. We can get a voucher from work to have it done free of charge. Last year, I qualified on the NHS, didn't request the voucher at work, and then I discover the NHS has changed the rules this year. So I shan't be having the flu vaccine.
Jonathan says, a radiator. Can't you use some of that vast YouTube income to finally get an aircon unit? Again, the second time today, a note of sarcasm in the air there with Jonathan. If you've seen my latest video on the Film My Run channel, that's what Jonathan is on about. A full, no holds barred expose of what I earn in YouTube ad revenue. If you're interested in that, you can go and have a look at how little you actually earn as a YouTuber with a small channel.
Jonathan, this time next year, we may be millionaires and we'll have that much coveted aircon.
Jonathan Perkins says, Jeff Partridge, still going strong. Last time I checked, well, I keep checking. I'm in a chat group with Jeff and some of his friends and family.
What the heck is Jeff doing in a chat group when he's meant to be concentrating on getting to the finish line?
Well, because when you're walking along the Pennine Way, there's not a lot else to do apart from randomly check your phone for messages.
I'm surprised that there's actually a phone signal.
I think there's only a phone signal when it gets down into the villages and things like that. Anyway.
Paul Deering says something major is happening in the Deering household right now. Debbie has started up her treadmill alongside me for the first time in... Fantastic. Is she feeling okay, Paul?
I'm sure she's fine. Welcome aboard, Debbie, although I can't see her in the run here. Mate, are you doing the tour of Zwift or something, guys? Anyway, it's good to have Colville back.
Yeah, really good, Debbie.
Carol Rushworth thinks Debbie will need oiling. Does she mean the treadmill or Debbie herself?
It would appear that half of the Zwift community are now in shock.
Paul Hayward says it's no wonder Jeff is taking so long if he's chatting on his phone all the time. So it has now been 5, nearly 6 days. They started on Sunday. It's now Friday. So yeah, 6 days out on the Pennine Way for Jeff Partridge. Avid Zwifter, treadmill runner and trail runner, ultra runner. And Jeff Partridge is not far away from the finish now of the Spine race, arguably the toughest winter ultra in the world, certainly the toughest ultra in the UK, point to point non-stop. Dragon's Back, of course, which many people argue is one of the toughest, is a stage race, so you get to finish at the end of the day and go to bed and then wake up and start again the next day. The Spine is just constantly, the clock is constantly ticking. So it's a non-stop race for 268 miles. Jeff has entered and DNF'd twice before. If he gets to the end, this will be his first finish at that distance. And we'll all be immensely proud of him because we know what this race has meant to him over the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Go touch that wall, Mr. Partridge. Carol says, welcome back, Colville. And she was just confirming, yes, it is indeed Debbie that will need oiling.
I'm sure that's a job for Paul Deering.
Okay, so now Paul is humouring the situation by saying it was very funny watching Debbie try to remember what to do. Debbie is doing the group run, but she can hear us.
Hi, Debbie. Right, I've opened the doors now. Let some cooler air in. It's 13 degrees in here.
Sebastian is asking how long did the first finisher take. No, it was a course record. It was absolutely smashed.
I think it was 64 hours. So 268 miles in, I think it was 64 hours.
Was
the
it
previous
about 10
record
hours?
The previous record was held by Jasmine Paris at 74 hours. And Jake Scott beat it by 10 hours. And a lot of people thought that Jasmine's time was almost unbeatable. They were quite lucky. They have been quite lucky this year with the weather, because it's been so cold that the ground underfoot, which is normally boggy, marshy, wet, has actually been quite dry and frozen, which has made it a faster course this year. So that's one of the reasons. But of course also that Jake is an amazing runner. Damien Hall came in second.
Paul Deering says the average speed 10 kph for the spine winner. Was it really 10 kph? That
Sounds
is
about right, yeah.
That is mighty impressive.
Well, if you think of 100 miles in 24 hours, so 200 miles in 48 hours, 300 miles in 72 hours, but he only did 268. So, yeah, possibly 10 kph, maybe a little slower than that, but yeah, I mean, it can't be far off that. Right, I can slow down now because I've actually gone past everybody.
Lee Walker's asking, wasn't it just a case of snowballing down the hills?
We can always ask Jeff when he gets back to Zwift. Did he roly-poly down the hills? Yeah, Tina just pointing out that I've actually run ahead of everybody. Not concentrating on where I am on the course, so I've slowed down now. And hopefully everyone will catch me up in a sec.
Paul Deering said that winners' Strava stats are all over social media, saying 10 kph. Now, is that his moving time or the overall time?
Yeah, that might be his moving time, I guess, because it's not quite that. So 24 hours for 100 miles is around about 7 kilometers per hour. So he could have done, if he was going at 7 kilometers an hour, he would have done 200 miles in 48 hours, and he would have done 300 miles in 72 hours. So that suggests to me that it's a little bit slower than 10 kph, but you might be right, Victoria, it might be his moving time, so not including the times when he was asleep.
Or stopping.
I suppose we could ask Google. Let me try and work it out. Hang on a second. I think it was 64 hours. So let me just do the maths. Hang on.
But interestingly, he had more sleep than when we saw the backyard ultra world record broken at 81 yards. Still an absolutely phenomenal achievement. And I do wonder if it now opens it up that somebody else will then try and push that record.
So if you're just joining us, we are running the Brighton Marathon medium long run training. We have 90 minutes to do. We've done 20. So it's just about time on feet. Pace, speed is not really important. It's just about making sure your body understands what it's like to be on your feet and run for a decent length of time.
Paul Deering has checked stats. Strava says 433 kilometres, moving time 73 hours at 10 kph.
Oh, so was his time 73 hours and not 63?
Jonathan Cost really misses backing music version 1.
Okay, just for you, Jonathan, one day we'll go back to version 1. The problem is I'll probably get a copyright strike. See, right, I've just done the maths on ChatGTP, okay? GPT. I've said if you cover 268 miles in 64 hours, what would your speed be? And ChatGPT has come back and said 6.74 kilometers per hour. But we're now unsure. I can't remember if he's done it in 74 or 64 hours.
74, but I don't know.
So that would mean Jasmine Paris's record was.
Why don't you just look it up rather than speculating and talking
Actually,
nonsense?
no. I think you're right because Damien Hall came in 82 hours, and he was 2 hours faster than Jasmine's record. So yes, you're right. It was 74 hours.
Which would make sense with moving time 73 hours. Right now, Tina is disagreeing with Jonathan Cost, and she's saying no to version 1. She much prefers music version 2. Paul Hayward is looking forward to version 3. Tina is saying, Paul, this is version 3.
Yeah, actually, the music that we're listening to now is version 3. This is definitely the third lot of music that I've put together. So we need version 4 soon.
Would that be where you introduce death metal?
Okay.
Or 80s pop?
So moving time may well be 10 kph, but overall average speed is just under 6 kilometers per hour for Jake Scott.
Or Hayward says time for a compilation. FMR, best of. Now that's what I call.
Now that's what I call FMR. What's everyone got planned for the weekend?
I would like to fully get well.
I would like to do park run, but I've also got a Masters cross-country race at lunchtime. So whether I can fit a slow park run and the Masters cross-country is another matter. We'll see.
Jonathan says, how are you going to cope when Ellis and Elsa get into goth? I think Elsa has already gone through that stage.
No, she's already in that stage, isn't she?
No, gone through it.
You reckon she's gone through it and out the other side?
Yes, I do. Talking of our children, does anyone have any good ideas for fundraising? Elsa has the opportunity to go to Africa next year with her school, and they will do volunteering work with orphan children.
In Lesotho? So you know that there are two little tiny countries inside South Africa. One is Eswatini, and the other one is Lesotho. And Elsa has the chance to... Sorry? Eswatini, yeah. But yeah, Lesotho is the place that she's got the chance to go to.
But the challenge is for every child to raise the money themselves. Elsa says her heart, she wants to go. Her head is saying no because it's too expensive. But we're trying to think up ideas for how she can fundraise the money herself.
Well, we should definitely start a GoFundMe page for her.
Does anyone have any suggestions for her? We were wondering whether she could do sponsored running. It's a thing we know.
Yeah. Surprise. That's our idea, is it? Sponsored running.
Well,
who would have thought it?
It was your idea. Jonathan says, how do you feel about that? The world is a dangerous place right now. Jonathan, yes, I totally agree with you. I have looked at the company who arranged these, and they come out of health and safety risk assessments. I think they do minimalise the risks.
Lesotho is, relative to South Africa and other African countries, Lesotho is a very stable country, generally.
Carol says, how much does she need to raise? Carol, it's nearly £4,000. For 2 weeks, she has the opportunity to do a 4-day hike, go on safari. They do all this fundraising. It's also teaching them leadership skills. So the group of children have the budget for 2 weeks, and they have to decide how much they spend on food, what they buy, when they do things. Jonathan Perkins says the Scouts do lots of fundraising. They usually do lots of cake sales, car washing, etc. I like Paul Deering's suggestion. It's simple. Just fine your dad £1 every time he mentions his sub-3 marathon.
Come on, Paul. She would only raise about £2. You know me, I don't like to talk about these things. I'm very shy and very understated about these things. You know, I'm a very humble guy. I don't mention the fact that I've run. Is it 4 sub-3 marathons now? 3 outdoors and 1 on the treadmill. Sorry, that just slipped out. No intention, obviously, it was just accidental.
Lee Walker said that they did it with a friend whose daughter went to Africa. He suggests £300 a team.
This is dodgeball he's talking about.
Yeah, sorry. £30 each in the team.
Do what?
And the winner gets a prize.
Can you explain what dodgeball is, Lee? Please.
Our children play dodgeball at school.
So what is it?
I don't know.
Where you throw a ball and you have to dodge the ball? Right, Harold says, as well as mentioning sub-3 marathons, every time I have a technical issue in the live stream, then I have to be fined as well. Yeah, I'm not sure I could afford that, to be honest.
Jackie Ramos is suggesting doing chores, doing the lawns, helping old people with groceries, washing clothes.
All good ideas.
Yeah, really good ideas, thank you. Maybe we could teach her how to iron clothes.
Yeah, but right, hang on a minute though.
But we can't afford to pay her for all
this is the thing. This is why we need her to fundraise, because we can't afford to pay 4,000 quid for her to go on this trip. But if she does household chores and I get fined for technical issues on the live stream and mentioning sub-3 marathons, that's still us paying the money.
But she can set up her own little business doing chores for other people. And I said to her, this would I believe, help with her GCSE business studies. James Hodges just mentioned that Elsa's already got a fiver already with those mentions, Mr. Cousins. Carol says sell her brother.
I don't think I've yet to say hello to everyone in game. Welcome to the Brighton Marathon long run training session. Half an hour gone, 1 hour to go. Keep it steady and easy. This is all about time on feet rather than speed.
Another suggestion is handcraft making. Yeah, maybe she could have an Etsy shop online.
So Lee Walker says sponsored runs. Yeah, so my thought was Elsa could run on Zwift once a week and raise money through the live stream for her trip. Say if she promises to do like 5k a week or something every week until she goes on the trip, something like that.
Maybe she could run couch to 5k classes.
Yeah.
Try and motivate other people, then there's a purpose for her doing it. Car boot sale, good idea, Neil. Paul Hayward's friend's daughter made thousands making and selling face masks on the internet during the pandemic.
Yeah, good idea.
Although there's not much use for that now. But it's still seeing that opportunity, isn't it, Paul? And making what people want at that time. Heather's making a suggestion. Have a silent auction with the big prize being a visit to the Zwift garage.
What, like an all expenses paid trip from wherever you are in the world? Like Australia, we pay, so we'll pay you. Yeah, the top prizes, we'll pay you wherever you are in the world to come for a free trip to Shed Quarters. I think that would possibly negate the whole point of the fundraising.
No, but it's a good idea to have.
Yes. But it would have to be, obviously, that the person coming would
have to make their own way.
Make their own way, which kind of isn't. Is that a prize? You've got to pay your own way?
I don't know, it might be.
Silent auction, says Heather. Are you suggesting that I do a live stream where I don't talk at all and you pay for every minute that I don't talk? Tina would love that. Tina and Sarah Jacobson would absolutely love that. I can imagine they would pay a lot of money for that as well. Although, to be fair, my wife would pay a lot of money for that as well.
Lee is suggesting that we try and identify some sponsors who work for businesses to get us the discounts or prizes, vouchers. Fair point, Jonathan. He said, here's a test of paternal commitment.
Paternal, sorry. I thought it said potential commitment. Paternal commitment.
Yes. Not maternal, paternal. Cancel all of your running trips and entry fees and just give her that money. It's got to be £4,000 plus. It is actually less than that, Jonathan. But it is, fair enough.
There you go. Heather says auction off that Boston jacket, Victoria.
Oh.
Controversial. All right, Tina says she would actually be bored silly if I didn't talk. Fair enough. you wouldn't be able to call me an idiot, would you? If I don't say anything. If I speak, you're bound to, at least every few minutes, you're bound to pick up on something stupid that I say. So, yeah. Come on, Jeff Partridge. Get to the end of this run, mate. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that we have been living our lives for almost a week. And for all of that time, Jeff Partridge has been out on the hills of the Pennine Way for that whole 6 days.
You know, I've just looked down and I've seen we've been running for 35 minutes already. That's more than a third gone.
Yeah.
Jonathan Koss said that Carol tried a sponsored silence once. She lasted less than 2 minutes.
James thinks we should raffle off UTMB stones. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't think you can do that, but what a great idea. Because they would be worth a lot of money to some people, wouldn't they?
I used my 2 stones last year, and they've all got set to 0. You said you've still got some.
I don't know. I haven't checked the past couple of days. I imagine all my stones have now gone because of my entry to OCC. But you never know. I might still have 1 or 2 left.
Oh, bless. Carol Rushworth was a brownie when she did a sponsored silence.
Were the brownies around when you were a girl, Carol?
Well, Paul says, well done, Carol. That was a great achievement. No sarcasm there, Carol.
Are we saying that 2 minutes of silence for Carol is genuinely well done? That's actually a really good amount of time for Carol to stay quiet.
It would appear that way. Apparently, Debbie Colville has officially finished running.
Well done, Debbie. Good job.
Yeah, well done, Debbie.
At least you've got on the treadmill, turned it on, and done a run. That's what counts. We have a lovely little group together. Victoria just bringing up the rear. Paul Hayward, Jonathan Perkin, Heather, Neil, Carol, Jackie, Seb, and myself. All together. Tiago's just up ahead. Lee Leggett is just up ahead as well. Yoko and Lee Betts are just behind.
Carol Rushworth is trying to defend her reputation here and says, no, it was 15 minutes. Tina Beard was such a dreadful brownie that they asked her not to join the guides. What on earth did you do, Tina?
I imagine Tina was just herself. And I can imagine some things that they would ask you to do in brownies. Tina would literally turn her nose up at and say, I am not doing that.
When I was about 4 or 5, my friend and I made a pact together that neither of us would ever join brownies or guides. And I've no idea why we did that. I really don't know what we thought went on in brownies and guides. Neil Messenger says that he will give £20 to Elsa to run on a treadmill to start her off. Neil, that is so kind of you. Thank you.
We will let her know that, Neil.
Debbie Colville tried to do a runner, but Paul wasn't having any of it, and he's locked all the doors.
Did he tie her to the treadmill as well?
There's nothing like peer group pressure, is there, Debbie?
Victoria, could I please have one of your Maltesers?
What, one of the Maltesers that you've already eaten?
No, I don't want the one I've already eaten because I'd have to regurgitate it. I want a fresh one.
I popped to the co-op before we started running.
Thank you.
Stephen's been helping himself, and I've not even had one yet. Lee Walker says, ping over the fundraiser page to the chat when you have it. Thank you, Lee. We'll have to get Elsa to write a piece about it.
And we do actually need Elsa to agree to this. We are basically talking on her behalf here.
This evening, she said in her heart she really wants to do it. It's just her head is stopping her because it is so expensive.
I think it's because it's such a daunting task is what it is. Not that it's so expensive, but just that the prospect of having to try and raise that amount of money, and also worrying about going off without us to such a distant place. I think that's all a bit overwhelming, isn't it? So,
well, Ellis, in March, he is due to go to China for 2 weeks with school. And none of his friends have signed up.
Don't worry, we don't need to raise money for that. That one's sorted.
But hopefully him going far away will help give her the confidence that she can do something. Jonathan Perkins has suggested that Stephen re-records that song and donate the Spotify proceeds. Should raise at least, I'm not sure how many zeros that is, 0.1p. It did get in which charts was it? For about an hour or two.
The actual charts?
Yeah.
That last year? Or the year before?
Debbie Colville says she only did the slowest 3k ever. Debbie, you did 3k, that's what counts. Oh, I like this. Heather says, we could sponsor Stephen to make the dinner more regularly. Everyone wins.
What do you mean more regularly?
Just make the dinner. Yep, Jonathan says it's a start, Debbie. Carol is interested to know what Debbie's heart rate was.
Tiago wants to do 1 mile in less than 6 minutes. So a 6-minute mile is... What is it in kph? Right, does anybody else know what is a 6-minute mile in kilometres per hour? Is it like 17 kph?
Debbie Colville says, surprisingly, her heart rate monitor needed charging. Carol says, can you live on bad boy pot noodles for a month, Victoria? No.
Who would possibly sponsor you to do that?
Or pasta and a jar of sauce from a shop. I can't survive on that either.
Right, Tiago, if you want to do the mile in 6 minutes, you need to be going at 16.1 kph, and that will get you a mile in just under 6 minutes. Coming up to halfway.
Tiago says, oh my God.
It's only for 6 minutes, Tiago. Only for 6 minutes. You can do that. You can do it.
Is that something realistically you can try and train for and get to that speed?
Yeah, you can definitely train for that. Interval sessions. So do 1 minute at 16 kph and then rest for 30 seconds. Then do another 1 minute at 16 and then rest for 30 seconds. And then as you go through your training, reduce the rest period. So reduce it down to 20 seconds and then 10 seconds. And then hopefully you can do a whole 6 minutes at that speed.
Tiago has been doing 15, and that's a hard effort. Sebastian never got to this achievement. Sebastian?
Oh yeah, we were going to do that. We were going to do that with Sebastian, weren't we?
Yeah, I think it's still worth you targeting that. I really do. James Hodge says, is Tiago seeking sponsorship?
Through, everyone. Well done. Remember, this is all about endurance and stamina.
Okay, so we are
on speed in our interval sessions.
Carol Rushworth is offering Tina's services to train Tiago. Top coaches, Tina. Tina also believes that Sebastian can do it too. Maybe Sebastian and Tiago could just encourage each other and set a goal for when you want to try and race it together. We could live stream it. Obviously, I won't be running at that pace. But...
Next week then, you reckon? No, I would give it 2 or 3 months of training. So basically do the marathon training that we're doing now, but maybe try and do some of your own specialist interval training sessions specifically for the 1 mile attempt. And then maybe by April or May, you'll be ready to go for it.
Heart rate 120 for Neil, that's good. 136 for me, not so good.
And I'm about 125, which is also not really where I want it to be. But we are still, we can still say we are at the beginning of our marathon training at the moment, so let's not panic just yet. 7 kilometres done for the yellow and red beacon group.
122 for Jonathan Perkin. Excellent. 121 for Paul Hayward.
So Paul Hayward and Jonathan, their heart rates are about where mine should be if I was fitter.
And Neil Messenger.
And Neil Messenger. Well done, guys. Good work.
Tiago is giving that a pass, saying I only like to run. Jonathan is suggesting that sub 50 minutes for a 10k is a great goal for Tina. Totally agree, Jonathan. And Sebastian is encouraging Tiago. Apparently he started last week at 15. Yeah, with the support of all the Zwift runners, Tiago, I think you would find it easier to motivate yourself if you do it with other people's support. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone on our Wednesday evening interval sessions. Paul Hayward says, just buy some good foam at the back of your treadmill, Tina.
Nice big crash mat. So we're heading up Box Hill on the Surrey Hills. Box Hill is about 30 miles, 20 to 30 miles from where we are right now. Just up the A24 past Dorking, and we get to the Surrey Hills, so it's really not very far away from us. And I have for a long time intended to go and film myself running up the road at Box Hill and then do a little video of a comparison between real life running up Box Hill and Zwift running up Box Hill. Never really got round to it.
Sebastian, yes, I did realise afterwards that I do need to be wearing my spectacles tonight. He was saying Tina started last week at 15. Tina's running really well at the moment, and if things continue this way, I think you'll be duly rewarded at the Brighton 10K. Heather once sponsored somebody that she saw at Parkrun, and they were wearing a t-shirt describing what they were running for. That's a really good idea. Tina doesn't even remember running at 15 kph. She was running so fast that she couldn't even see it.
She was delirious.
Tina, you are clearly stronger than you think you are.
Of course, as is always the way, it is pouring with rain in London or on the Surrey Hills. Neil says it's raining, yeah.
Tina does indeed now remember running for 30 seconds at 15 kph. You still ran it, Tina. 30 seconds is 30 seconds.
My nose is dribbling.
Got half a tissue. Love is tearing your tissue in half.
Oh, that was on the big screen camera as well. That's not on, is it? Yeah, I'm now wiping it on my shorts. Tina says, I wondered when we'd get back to snot. You're never far away from a snot discussion, Tina.
Paul Hayward struggles with faster speed and thinks it's probably technique. Or it probably is. Jonathan Koss would like to know, why do women always have tissues?
Oh, Jonathan, you and me both. These are the fundamental issues that divide men and women. A woman will come onto the treadmill with tissues ready at hand, either stuffed up her t-shirt or on the side, on the table. A man will just rock up onto the treadmill with no worries at all. And then if he needs to blow his nose, he'll blow it in his hand and chuck it out the window. Or just sniff a lot. That's what men do.
I have tissues in sealed plastic bags for ultras, just to keep them dry and usable.
Carol, to be fair, I've never seen Victoria arrive at the treadmill with lip gloss.
I applied it before I got on the treadmill.
No, you did. Did you really?
What, Vaseline?
Oh my goodness.
The treadmill noise is back, Stephen. Is that because we're at an hour?
No, because I've actually now paid for that. Oh, right. Hang on a minute. I know why. Right, I am going to have to stop to do this.
Tina Beard says, in response to Jonathan's question, because we're hygienic and not skanky, Jonathan.
Oh, this is not going to work, is it? I'm not going to be able to do this. Hang on. Right, now. Let's see if it does it properly. Victoria can't talk at the moment. Just try talking, Victoria. No, not working. You can't talk, it's not working. Oh. No idea. I'm going to have to catch everyone up. Right, try now, Victoria.
Debbie Colville says, not if your name's Paul Deering. He always has written toilet roll at the side of his treadmill.
Should work in a second. That should be okay now. Yeah, so because I've changed the microphone settings again, our screen has frozen. So we just have to wait for it to sort itself out. But Jonathan says it is all good, so I have sorted the microphone issue out again. This time it was the other microphone.
Tina loves a box of tissues. Has them all over the house. For running, I always use kitchen roll. Seems to last better.
Yoko seems to have stopped. Are you okay, Yoko? Everything all right? As Yoko calls it a day. James Hodge is still going. He's just about to hit 8 kilometres. Yoko has hit 8 kilometres, 5 miles, or just under 5 miles.
Tina agrees kitchen roll is stronger.
So it was getting to the stage where I've explained this all to you before, but I'll explain it again. We have 2 microphones now, but because we're running on treadmills, there's an awful lot of noise from the treadmills. So I use some software to remove the background noise. The problem with the software is it will only accept 1 microphone input at a time. So I've got 1 piece of free software that I use for that. Now for Victoria's microphone, we have another piece of software which does pretty much the same job, but it's a paid for software. You have to buy it. If you don't buy it, you can only use it for 45 minutes per day. Or is it an hour? Nah, maybe it's an hour per day before it cuts out. And it's happened too often that we've had this problem where the software has cut out and you guys start to hear all the background noise, and it's very distracting and annoying. So today, and don't tell Victoria this, today I did finally pay for the software, which is no fun at all, departing with 40 or 50, 40 something quid. If you convert it from dollars, it was about $60.
Gone into Elsa's kitty.
It could have gone into Elsa's kitty, but what do you want? Do you want a daughter who gets the money to go to Lesotho? Or do you want happy viewers who are not annoyed by our treadmill noise?
There. Jonathan Koss says kitchen roll equals nasal chafage. Yeah, I would agree with that. However, that's a small price to pay compared to a handful of shredded tissues. That's just in my opinion.
So I've not been paying attention again, and I've gone ahead of everybody. So I need to slow myself down. Did we actually get to the top of Box Hill yet? No. No, we're still climbing up Box Hill.
James Hodge is asking, did you fancy the Centurion 200? Is that a question to Stephen?
No, I think he's asking you, Victoria. No, go on.
No, I think it would have been too much having done the slam. So Stephen and I had already done 4 100-milers and we were really fatigued at the end of that.
Yeah, but what about next year or the year after?
At £500, no thank you. Would I take on the challenge?
Excuses. Forget the £500. Do you want to run the Centurion Winter 200?
I would definitely consider it.
And there, if proof be need be, and tell me if you know where that quote comes from, if proof be need be that Victoria is more of a lunatic than I am.
Tina says, I think you'll find it's Fox Hill.
Oh, are we climbing Fox Hill? Are we going backwards? Don't we go down Fox Hill and climb up Box Hill? Is that not right? Maybe not.
Jonathan says, no, Victoria, just no.
I'm with you. Yeah, there's a grand. Yeah, entry for me and Victoria for the Winter Downs 200-miler. £500 each. There is a grand towards Elsa's Lesotho fund.
Which is why we volunteered for the majority of our 100-mile races.
So we're now at the stage where those of you who enjoy listening to the music on the live stream, you don't get to hear this music very often because very few of our runs last more than an hour. And of course this playlist goes on for an hour and a half, 2 hours I think this playlist goes on for, so you often never hear the second half of this playlist. Right, I'm back up to speed, Sebastian. Sebastian just reminding me to get back up to 9 kph.
James said that was to both of us.
In all honesty, James, yeah, I probably would do it, but I think if I had a choice, which I do, of course, I would rather do a different 200-miler. If I'm going to do 200 miles, I would rather do it in the Alps, in the French or the Swiss or the Italian Alps, to be perfectly honest with you.
Or along the Pennine Way?
Or maybe even along the Pennine Way. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if Jeff Partridge finishes in the next 24 hours, he is going to set a bit of a benchmark for me, isn't he? He's going to have another thing over me that he keeps mentioning whenever we clash over our various stats together. he can always say that he's run a faster 100 miler than me. And now he's going to be able to say he's run further, more than double the distance that I've ever run.
Tina has a question for you.
Oh. Right, Tina says, I gather you're now too busy to do stage 4 tomorrow. Am I? Why? What am I doing? Well, there is the potential for me to run 3 times tomorrow. So I could do park run in the morning. I could do the Masters cross country at lunchtime. And then I could do the short stage 4 in the evening tomorrow. And as long as my wife doesn't mind, I don't have a problem doing that. Is there a coast-to-coast run, says Jonathan. When you say coast-to-coast, where? Coast-to-coast where? There's a coast-to-coast in Devon from the south coast of Devon over Exmoor and Dartmoor to the north coast called... can't remember what it's called. And there is the wall, is it the wall where that you run from the west coast to the east coast along Hadrian's Wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hadrian's Wall Ultra, I think it's called the Wall, I think. And you just run east to west along Hadrian's Wall. And isn't there the Northern Traverse as well? There's a race called the Northern Traverse, which I think essentially goes across the country as well.
Well, Hayward's pointing out, Land's End to John O'Groats.
Yeah, Land's End to John O'Groats is kind of coast to coast, isn't it?
Friend of ours holds a record for that, isn't it? Or...
Yeah, a friend of ours holds the record for that, that's right. Right, we are now at the top. We are on the top of Box Hill. Whether it's Fox Hill or Box Hill Road, I don't know, but we are now at the top of Box Hill.
I've done 10 kilometres, heart rate 137.
Yeah, 10 kilometres for me as well, heart rate 125. Heart rate 133 for Sebastian. Well done, Seb. Oh, actually, do you know what? You're right, you know. This is Fox Hill, isn't it? It's the back end, of course it is. So we're not getting the monument at the top. Oh no, we are. There it is. There it is, just behind me. Yes, so it is the top of Box Hill. Yes. I'm doubting myself for a minute there. James Hodge says it sounds like you're both wavering. I think the money is gonna stop us doing it, to be honest. We just, unless it's got to be a completely epic event for us to spend £500 on an entry.
Well done to Lee. He says, well done all. Only 5 miles on my plan this evening. Well done.
Good job, Lee. Leg it. Well done. Lee is finishing on 5 miles. Great job.
Thanks for joining us.
So Neil Messenger's going to do parkrun tomorrow. Is Tina going to do parkrun, or is it too cold again? Lee says, look forward to joining you IRL. Yep. Not long now. Well, depends what you mean by long, but... 20 minutes remaining. Well done, everyone. Just 20 minutes to go. Full stop. If you've come this far, you may as well get to the end.
Tina is not doing parkrun tomorrow. It's technically a rest day, but she will do stage 4.
Okay, Tina. I'm going to do the short version of stage 4 tomorrow, so I will see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow for the short version of the Tour of Zwift, stage 4. And then it's on to stage 5 on Tuesday.
Only done stage 2.
I haven't done stage 2. No live streaming on Sunday or Monday. Long run time on Sunday. Track on Monday. And then we'll be back on Tuesday with the Film My Run 500. And then in the evening we will do stage 5 of the Tour of Zwift.
On Sunday, Sabina will be doing 80 minutes.
That's it, doing 80 minutes.
Sabina.
Sabina.
Carol Rushworth loves her park runs every week. Always gets a PB. I'm not sure where Stephen has been recently, but he has no idea who Sabina is. He thinks I've lost the plot.
Yeah, Victoria's gone doolally. I don't know who Sabina is.
Oh, Carol said, in my dreams. James says it looks like a lot of logistics.
Oh,
yes.
Oh. How many Maltesers have you had now, Victoria?
0.
Can I have another one, please?
No, absolutely
Oh,
not.
go on, just one more, please.
When you get to quarter past, you're allowed one.
What happens if I collapse through a lack of sugar and I have like a diabetic hypo?
Right, just looking at you right now, I don't think there's any risk of that happening.
I could go hypoglycemic and then you would feel bad. See, this is why I married her, because I know I can con her out of Maltesers. There's no way I was going to go hypoglycemic. I'm perfectly all right. I just wanted some chocolate. It's too late now. She's given it to me. She can't take it back.
Carol says, who is watching Traitor? Stephen wouldn't let us watch it because he said that would be another series that takes up our lives.
I need to go. Hang on.
I think that's my Amazon delivery arrived. Poor Deering says, Carol, you don't run outside in the real world. You belong on the Truman Show. Carol, that's 3 hours a week. At the moment, we're getting lost to, I think it's quite an old series on Prime called I Shouldn't Be Alive. Friends of ours recommended it to us, and I'm completely addicted to that. It's quite uncomfortable viewing at times. I'm talking about I Shouldn't Be Alive series.
Oh, do you know what? Victoria's just got totally into this series. which looks like it was filmed in about 1985. And all the stories are from about 1975. And they're all either people getting lost in the jungle or lost at sea. And apart from the first one, which was quite exciting because everyone got eaten by sharks, literally.
Not everyone, there were two survivors.
Two survivors. After that, they've all survived. Nobody's died after that. Everyone's survived.
No, 2 people died.
Did they?
In the Amazon.
Oh, yeah, all right, okay. Anyway.
But it turns out that Ellis has already watched most of these episodes. Who knew? Jonathan said I would love Traitors.
You see, it's just more TV to watch, isn't it?
My problem is that Stephen spends the evening criticising me for what I watch, and then he watches hours and hours of rot the rest of the day.
What do you mean, the rest of the day? I don't watch TV during the day.
Paul Deering says, Victoria, can you fix the hooks on the green curtain behind Stephen? I doubt that he's even aware. Paul, yes, I'll do that after the run.
Do you know what? I knew that's just the kind of thing that would irritate Jonathan. Just like the mess of cables below. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I've got my top-down treadmill view.
It's now bothering me now that I know that those curtain hooks are off.
Oh, you can't see. There's normally a total mess of cables down here. But I did, about a year ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, Jonathan had a right go at me for the mess down there. So I had to spend the whole afternoon tidying it up just to please Jonathan.
Sebastian is inviting Heather into the fold. Could be Hesabina.
What are you lot on about?
So whilst you were ill, having man flu, dying on the sofa, it was established that Sebastian and Tina have morphed into the same person. Their heart rates are synchronised and their run workouts are synchronised. They are essentially one person now.
Yeah, Carol has actually noticed the cables are to the left. Hang on, let's just do that again. So the cables are, the messy cables are down there, aren't they?
Tina's been annoyed for years about those messy hooks.
Well, nobody's ever told me about it before. I can't do it now. We need to get some curtain hooks from inside the house and fit them. I was going to take a curtain hook off and move it over. Oh, you mean over there? Well, look, I can see messy cables on my right, and I can see messy cables on my left.
Green screen hasn't been used for years. However, those green curtains do get closed daily.
Do you know what though? I have been thinking, because we don't use green screen anymore, I have seriously been thinking about taking that green curtain down and putting something else up. I just haven't got around to it yet. But you know me, you know how long it takes me to get around to anything. Tina says, Stephen, are you glad you turned up tonight? To be perfectly honest, I'm just totally used to it. It's been, how many years has it been now that I've been suffering abuse from, to be honest, a variety of different Zwift Run channel viewers, supporters and alike, people who claim to be supporters and then spend the entire stream having a go at my cabling or my curtains or my propensity for eating Maltesers or my technical issues.
Paul Deering says the green screen was an attempt to keep up with the kids. Massive fail. Carol says, love you. You love it, cousins. He does, Carol. Heather's just pointed out that the messy hooks was a missed sponsorship opportunity. You could have got people to sponsor you, and if you raise enough money, you would fix it.
That sounds like a very lame idea for a sponsorship. If you give me money, I'll fix my curtain hooks.
Tina Beard loves it when Jonathan, Paul and Carol are all here joining in.
Yeah, so, right.
We love it too.
The problems arise when Victoria is here, Tina, Heather, Paul and Debbie, Jonathan and Carol, and then you could add Marcus Holmes and Sarah Jacobson into the mix, and I could basically go home because I stand absolutely no chance with the lot of you. And years ago, do you remember Amanda? We used to have Amanda on the Film My Run 500, and she would, and Megan as well. They would all have a go at me. I mean, somebody might start to get a bit paranoid and think it was them that was the problem.
Paul Hayward says it gives Tina a rest.
Gives Tina something to do.
No, having all these people.
Oh, I see. It gives Tina a rest from abusing me because somebody else can do it. Yes, that is true.
Sarah popped in earlier, but she had to leave. I think she was working.
Yeah, those Americans, it's still the middle of the afternoon for them. They should be working. So yeah, Sarah did pop in earlier, but only briefly.
Tina Beard can't wait for all the banter in Brighton.
Brighton is going to be hilarious. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Brighton, guys. Can't wait.
Carol suggests maybe that's the sponsorship.
What's the sponsorship?
I'm not sure. What if winding you up or Brighton or...
What? Who does the best roast of Stephen?
Throw rotten tomatoes at Stephen.
Actually, do you know what? I'd be up for that. Right, when we're in Brighton, we hire some stocks. And I'll go in the stocks and everyone from Zwift can throw tomatoes at me, but it'll cost you a £5. £5 to throw a tomato at me in Brighton in April.
Jonathan Cost is now getting a bit uneasy at this because Carol has suggested that every time they pick on you, they pay up. I think Jonathan can see them being bankrupt.
Yeah, Tina couldn't afford that. I'm just going to go and drop some ride-ons to people. Well done if you've got this far. An hour and 25 minutes in. We've got 5 minutes to go. Really appreciate your company today. As always, once you get chatting, the time flies by. So it's been really good. So let me just go and drop some ride-ons on some people.
Carol would just like clarification if that includes the box that the tomatoes come in.
That is a point. Do I have to pay for the tomatoes? Because that could seriously reduce the funds that we receive.
Your messenger is very much looking forward to Brighton Marathon. Now, it'd be really good to see you again. Sebastian said this was an entertaining session again. Thanks, Stephen and Victoria, for the flying 90 minutes while we have 5 minutes left. Hasn't that time flown? It wouldn't be half as much fun without everybody joining in.
Yoko is still going. Well done, Yoko. 12 kilometres done for Yoko. Fantastic. James Hodge is still there. Well done, James. Rita is still there. Lee Betts is still there. Well done, gang. Super work.
Paul Hayward says that Tina would run up a large debt, and Tina said she'd have to stop watching the live stream. Jonathan Koss says he's in for £100 with 20 tomatoes. Well, thank you, Jonathan.
Do you know what?
It would be worth it.
It's actually genuinely starting to be something that could happen.
Jonathan, start practicing your aim. Yeah, Heather said earlier for the stocks, but with wet sponges.
How much would it cost to hire stocks, though?
I don't know, we could just make our own.
So, right, let's have this conversation live on air now, Victoria. Are we doing a bit of an open house here for maybe for a select few Zwifters?
We can sell tickets for Elsa.
Oh, we could sell tickets to the shed, to shed quarters.
Elsa can do the entertainment. She can make cakes or something and serve cakes.
So, because, right, here's the thing. We have spent the last 13 years in the process of decorating our house. And in those 14 years...
We've done very little.
We've not got very far. So there are parts of our house which genuinely do look terrible. And sometimes we are embarrassed to have people round. Now, the work will get done. It's just not done yet.
Jonathan says, good idea though. And Paul says, garden party.
So we haven't got a very big garden. But
big enough?
It's big enough to have a few people. So as long as you don't make fun of the hole in our breakfast room where we had a leaking bath and had to dig out the ceiling to fix the leaking bath from underneath, we're quite happy to have a few of you round in April for a bit of a garden party or a bit of a...
Tina's offered to cut the grass.
Yes, Tina, you're more than welcome. £100 to cut the grass.
Or hoover it.
She can hoover the grass. You can hoover the grass, Tina.
Neil Messenger says, well done, everyone. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, well done to you. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Done everyone who has taken part today. How many people regularly run 90 minutes on the treadmill? Question mark. That is an achievement in itself. So thank you so much, and we will hopefully see you again for the same event next Friday.
Jonathan Perkins says, cheers all, that was a lot of fun as always. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
At 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Paul Deering says that they are already there. Worthing booked pre-Brighton and they will get the stream numbers up. Nice one, Paul. Thank you, Jackie. She says, thank you all. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, love that this evening, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow for the Tour of Zwift Stage 4 at 6 p.m. UK time. 13.5k done.
Sebastian, there is no pampas grass in our garden.
We could buy some. Hands up if you want us to buy some pampas grass.
Yeah.
No, honestly, we're not doing that.
That has made me laugh.
I am in so much trouble when the stream goes down.
I was the one who had to explain pampas grass to you.
Yes, when was that?
Years ago.
Years ago, I had no idea what pampas grass
Jonathan
was.
Cost said that this channel introduced him to pampas grass.
Oh dear. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And it's not, and it wasn't me. Now just remember this. It wasn't me that introduced you to pampas grass. It was my wife.
I don't know. No, was it somebody else suggested
No,
it? Or
you knew all about it for some reason.
Yes, I did know. That's working in Brighton for you.
Carol Rushworth would pay to see that. What, pay to see us have pampas grass in our garden? Don't bring your tassels, whatever you do, Carol. Right, look, we're going
well
now.
Well done, Tiago. Thank you.
Before we get into any more trouble, Tiago, well done. Sebastian, well done. Thank you so much, everyone, for the chat. It's been great fun today. Always good fun when you lot turn up. Thank you very much. 90 minutes flew by. We'll do it all again next week. We are on the road to Brighton, and we have... we're coming up to week 4 next week. Gosh, that's not long, is it? 8-9 weeks left before Brighton? My goodness. Okay. Right, take care, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow for the Tour of Zwift at 6 p.m. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.